Hello and welcome to the One Man Renegade Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, the Honorable Greg B, and today is Sunday. And coming up in a couple hours, we got AEW Dynasty, not to be confused with Wrestle Dynasty, which was also sort of an AEW thing, but it was more New Japan, but that already happened back in January. We got AEW Dynasty, not to be confused with Dynamite either, which is Dynasty Dynamite. It's delightful. All right, so if you missed any wrestling related videos, headed up there. There's a big old massive playlist of all the wrestling related videos I've recorded over the years. There are a lot of them, so if you're looking for something specific, certain brand, product, year, league, whatever, might be easy to go search channel page. And while you're over there checking out all the amazing videos I've done over the years, or you're right here, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, also hit thumbs up, like this video, hit that share button, share this with everyone, you know, and down in the comments telling you who you think is going to win in all the matches tonight on the pay-per-view and the pre-show too. And then also check out the links and information in the description for all my other internet stuff, all the social media and everything like that. All right, so I just grabbed a box of 20. The first thing I could find was 2022 Upper Deck AEW, which, you know, looking at it now, I'm like, oh, maybe this wasn't the best box to grab because literally nobody on this is on the card tonight. Now, Thunder Rosa and Hangman Page are the only ones kind of really active at the moment. Jack Perry's been gone for whatever. They're both in WWE and he's climbing Mount Everest. Thunder Rosa's in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, the women's, but she's not having a first round match tonight. But there is a first round match tonight, so she could potentially be there and do something, I suppose. And then Hangman's not involved in any specific match, although he did confront Swerve Strickland on Dynamite this week, and Swerve Strickland's fighting for the title, so potentially also get involved. And of course we got Britt Baker on the side, who's been gone, who's been missing for, I don't know, like a year and a half now. I don't even remember the last time she wrestled on AEW. But let's get into it, see what we can find. Hopefully some cool stuff. Hopefully some people are actually wrestling on the card and we can kind of do a little preview and make some predictions and stuff. If not, I'll just go through it at the end. But all right, let's get to it. Saw the odds on stuff. I guess it was on the box too. So hopefully we can find some cool stuff. There's all the odds. So, all right, let's get to it. We got Trent Beretta. I don't know what's going on with Trent. Although, why does he still have the question mark if you got the Beretta? I never understood that. I think I don't know if he's retired, he's injured, or what is going on with him. Got Adam Cole, so the first person that actually has a match tonight. He will be taking on Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship, and the match has no time limit and no outside interference is prohibited. I think they're finally going to pull... Whoa, we got a hit. I think they're finally going to do it. I think Adam Cole is going to win that match against Daniel Garcia since they've been building up and having all these matches and stuff. But we got Matt Sydal. I think he's still with the company doing stuff. I don't know. I haven't really noticed him recently. He might be doing stuff with Ring of Honor. I don't really watch Ring of Honor too closely. But we got a match use ring mat card right here. So that's kind of cool. Matt Sydal. Debut dates, Bryan Danielson, of course. I guess technically he's retired. I don't really know what's going on with him. You know, his contract ran out. Apparently never re-signed, but he's still working with them in some capacity. But he lost the match to Moxley and lost the title. And then that was supposedly, he said if he lost that match, he'd never wrestle full time again. It was very confusing. And Evil Uno, still, I think the Dark Order has been doing stuff in Ring of Honor for the most part recently. Our next pack, we got Chuck Taylor again, along with his best friend there. I don't know what's going on with him. Injured, retired. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Lance Archer. So he was supposedly supposed to be having a match tonight. With Brian Cage to go against the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles, but I guess Brian Cage got injured, so they pivoted, and now it's going to be Big Bill and Brian Keith. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Lance Archer then. Lee Johnson is around, I guess. I don't know. Ricky Starks is currently the NXT North American champion, as he just won it this past week. And there he is again. So double up on the Starks. Although he's Saints now, Ricky Saints, as he's known now. Scorpio Sky, another guy that's just, I feel like he went completely missing in action. I don't know where he is or what he's doing. I think he's still with the company. Maybe he's doing stuff in Ring of Honor. I don't know. Arayo Mizunami. No idea. No clue. Cash Wheeler, okay, so another person who's actually fighting on the card tonight. Does that make it 2? FTR, or rated FTR, I should say. So FTR and Cope are challenging the Death Riders for the 6-man tag. That, of course, is Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta. But there's been some internal conflicts between FDR and Cope. So can they work together? Will it explode? Will they win? I don't know. It's one of those two things where it's like, depending on how long they're going to drag this out, either they'll win it with some shenanigans and maybe not everything going according to plan, but they'll win, and then they'll keep teasing us until eventually they lose and something blows up, or they just blow up tonight and the Death Riders retain. I'm kind of leaning towards them winning and carrying this out further. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. But I'm not. I'm like I'm back and forth about it. Like, I'm not like super confident about that. I feel like they easily could just blow it up tonight, and that leads to something else later. I don't know. Hangman Page, we discussed. I feel like he will get involved somehow with the Swerve and a Moxley match. Mike Knox is a referee, so there we go. There. Speaking of Moxley, there he is. Moxley Swerve. I think Moxley's still gonna win. I do think Page is gonna get involved. I think maybe he's gonna cost Swerve the match. I don't know, but I don't know if that really makes any sense at this point. Because the other thing you could do is have Page help Swerve in some sort of way. And then Page, I believe, is in the Owen Hart tournament. Have him win it, and then ultimately do the Page Swerve title match at All In. But I just don't know where that leaves Moxley, and that kind of ends the Death Riders story with kind of a whimper. Not that anyone's really liked it, enjoyed it so much, I feel like. But it's like, I feel like there should be a bigger end to it than just, he's a victim of Page and Swerve thing. So I think Moxley's going to win. Yeah. But again, I'm kind of back and forth on that a little bit. I think I'm a little more confident that Moxley's going to win than the other Death Riders are going to win. But that's why I'm kind of flipping back and forth. Justin Roberts going to do some announcing. Angelico, I don't know why Angelico, it's upside down. Oh, it's some sort of insert. Does it say? Some years it says. Pyro. I'm guessing it's a Pyro one. No idea anything about him. Hangman, there he is, CM Punk. Of course, he'll be fighting WrestleMania triple threat with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Serena Deeb, she pops up now and again to fight people. I feel like, what was she most recently doing? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But she's around. Sting. Now the big question mark is whether or not Sting will be at the WWE Hall of Fame inducting Lex Luger. There's been some rumors that Luger wants him to be there, but no one's really talked. There's been no back and forth between AEW and WWE, so who knows. Britt Baker, she's just lost in the back. I don't know what's going on with her. Malachi Black could be very well re-debuting, or returning, I should suppose, as I would assume they go back to Aleister Black in WWE. Should be sooner rather than later at this point. Canvas card, Sammy Guevara. I think he's still a tag champion in Ring of Honor with Dustin Rhodes, the Sons of Texas or whatever they're called, I think. We got Red Velvet. She pops up now and again. I think she does a bunch of stuff in Ring of Honor as well, but she pops up now and again. Ethan Page will be just attacked Ricky Saints after his match, after he won the North American Championship, NXT North American Championship from Shawn Spears, who might be in this product too somewhere. Mark Henry, he just signed a Legends deal with WWE, so a lot of these people are going back to WWE. Nick Jackson, along with his brother, they're still missing in action at the moment. I'm guessing they're going to return soon. I'm not sure in what capacity or what they're going to do, but I got to imagine they'll be back soon. They've been gone for quite a bit. Santana, he's doing his thing in TNA now. We got tag team 2.0. Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. Okay, that's not even their names anymore. I don't know. Matt Lee or what's his actual name? He's in excuse me, Danny Garcia's corner, but there's no interference or there's no, I don't know. So he's been doing stuff with Danny Garcia and what's his face has been off. Although didn't he come back recently? I don't know. Whatever. Luchasaurus has been out with he had pneumonia and bad situation. Not back yet. Penelope Ford, she's around. She just fought Tony Storm recently. I think was that on Dynamite? That was on Dynamite, I believe. Wardlow, another guy that just disappeared. MJF is an interesting one. He's not on the card, which is weird, but I could see him getting involved a little bit because he was gonna join the Hoyt, like MVP asked him about joining the Hurt Syndicate, and he was gonna join, but then Bobby Lashley didn't really want him to join, and then the whole back and forth, so he could get involved in that match. Jungle Boy, he's been out of action for a while. Not quite sure what's going on with him. The Young Bucks disappeared, and then he kind of followed suit, so he may be returning with them. And then Penta L0M, or just Penta as he's known now, is in WWE in and around the Intercontinental title situation. So yeah, a lot of these people. Obviously this product's from 2022, so it's a couple years, almost 3 years old at this point. Orange Cassidy, I guess, is currently out with an injury. Billy Gunn's been gone since kind of the Acclaim kind of blew up. Brian Pillman Jr., now known as Lexus King, is in NXT. We discussed MJF a moment ago. Outside the ring, Ortiz. No idea what happened with Ortiz, because Santana and Ortiz kind of had their thing, and then they kind of both just disappeared. Santana ended up in TNA. I don't know what happened to Ortiz. Hangman Page, we discussed. Colt Cabana, I don't know what happened with Colt Cabana. He was doing stuff with the Ring of Honor, but I don't really know. And then, of course, we just talked about Penta. Rey Fenix just debuted on SmackDown a couple days ago, so we'll see what WWE has in store with him. Although it seems like they're going to be separate for now, because Rey's on SmackDown, Penta's on Raw, but eventually, I'm imagining they'll, we got Jim Ross. I'm guessing he'll probably be at the pay-per-view calling a couple matches. QT Marshall pops in now and again. Ortiz, we discussed. Ty Conti, I don't know, she had a kid. Or Ty Mello, as she goes by now again. She had a kid with Sammy Guevara. She just haven't returned. Speaking of having kids, Ruby Soho had a kid, so she'll be back maybe at some point after that. Oh, we got an autograph. Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. Because that is the autograph that's on the box. Wow. That is interesting. It kind of popped out of nowhere. It wasn't even backwards or anything. Weird. Okay, well, Britt Baker, we've talked about. She just kind of has been out of action. Not quite sure what's going on with her. Everyone's kind of wondering. Her last run didn't go so great. And then, you know, there was issues with her and him, and now they broke up. So everyone's kind of, yeah. Jay Lethal, I don't know. They were doing the whole thing with Jeff Jarrett, and then that kind of just went to the wayside. And Frankie Kazarian is doing his thing back in TNA. And there we got one more pack. Sorry, I was looking at the box. I'm like, wait, there's nothing left in the box. No, there's one more pack. One more pack. I mean, this has been a pretty good box. We got two hits out of the box. I'm not gonna complain about this box, even though it's just old and, you know, has non-relevant to AEW people, even if they're with the company, which is weird. Dustin Rhodes, I think he's still a double champion in Ring of Honor with the tag titles with Sammy, and then the 6-man with the Von Erichs, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't really watch Ring of Honor, like I said, which is interesting because there is a Ring of Honor match on this pay-per-view. But we got Pac, although I don't think any of that story has been played out on Ring of Honor for the most part. I think it's mostly just been on AEW. But we'll talk about it in a minute. Pac, of course, in that 6-man match, we got the Blade and the Butcher. Now, I believe the Blade had to have neck surgery or back surgery or something, so he's been out. The Butcher was still kind of around, but I haven't noticed him recently. The Acclaimed, which I mentioned earlier with the Billy Gunn thing, they aren't really a team anymore. Max Caster is doing his own thing. I don't really know where Anthony Bowens has been, and Billy Gunn kind of disappeared. But Max Caster is doing his open challenge thing that he's been doing for weeks now, where he challenges somebody because he's the best wrestler alive or whatever he calls himself. And then he just gets beaten in like 2 seconds. So he's having, on the pre-show, another open challenge. I'm assuming he's going to get beat up by somebody. I don't know if this is... I'm not sure who. It was Mark Briscoe on last night on Collision. I mean, you know, there's rumors of people debuting, but I don't know if this is a place where in the pre-show. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he's going to lose. I don't know who's going to be against, but there we go. Jade Cargill, she will be fighting Naomi at WrestleMania. There's another canvas card. Then we got Max Caster, we literally just talked about. And then John Silver and Max Caster again. So a lot of Max Caster in there. John Silver, of course, with Evil Uno and Dark Order. I think he's still with Dark Order. I don't know. Again, I think a lot of that's been playing out on Ring of Honor. And so I don't know. All right, so let's just run down the card real quick that we haven't talked about. So on the pre-show, we got Nick Wayne and CRU. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what CRU stands for. I'm not 100% sure. But it's Action Andretti and Leo Rush. They'll be taking on AR Fox and Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin. You know, I always tend to lean towards the faces on the pre-shows just cause, but I don't really... I kind of feel like Nick Wayne and CRU might win this. Although, I don't know. They had a lot of that stuff on Collision last night, and it was just kind of like, I don't really get what the connection here is. Whatever. So they easily could just have AR Fox and Top Flight. But I'm gonna go with my first assumption and go Nick Wayne and CRU. They got Max Caster, the Open Challenge. Whoever is gonna be the Open Challenge is gonna win. And then in the actual pay-per-view, we got Kyle Fletcher taking on Mark Briscoe in a first-round match for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I think Kyle Fletcher's going to win that. Will Ospreay taking on Kevin Knight. It was supposed to be Switchblade, Jay White, but he is injured. He broke his hand. So I'm going to go with Will Ospreay in that one. Then we got Mercedes Moné taking on Julia Hart in a first-round women's Owen Hart Cup tournament match. Mercedes Moné. Then we get the Hurt Syndicate defending the tag titles against Big Bill and Brian Keith. Like I said originally, I think this was supposed to be Lance Archer and Brian Cage, but they pivoted. Will MJF get involved somehow? I don't know. But in either event, I don't think the Hurt Syndicate's going to lose the titles. Chris Jericho defending his Ring of Honor title against Bandito, who will be putting his mask up. And a title versus match. I don't see Bandito losing his mask, but I could very well see this just being like a smoz and setting up another match for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view coming up in May. I forget which one it is. Death Before Dishonor, or no, Supercard of Honor, I think it is. That's in May. So I feel like they should set something up. And it wouldn't really make sense to either A, have Bandito lose his mask here, or B, have Jericho lose the title here on the AEW pay-per-view. I think you'd want to save that for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So I don't think anything's going to happen here, but the one thing I don't see happening is Bandito losing his mask. So I think Bandito's going to win somehow, but they're probably going to be shenanigans, and it's probably going to end up a smoz and whatever. But I'm going to go with Bandito for the picks purposes. Daniel Garcia defending the TNA Championship against Adam Cole. No time limit, no outside people. I think Adam Cole's going to win the title. Got Death Riders defending the Trios Championship against Rated FTR. I'm slightly leaning toward FTR winning, but like something happening, and there's still being some issues, and eventually it leads to them it all blowing up later when they lose the titles. But I could just as easily see the Death Riders win. But I'm going to go with the Rated FTR just for the sake of the pick. Kenny Omega defending his international championship against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey in a triple threat. I don't see Kenny Omega losing. I think eventually down the line they're going to set up Kenny Omega and Okada to combine those championships. No Okada on the card, though, which is interesting. Then we have Timeless Toni Storm defending the AEW Women's Championship against Megan Bayne. I mean, she just won it from Mariah May. Won it back from Mariah May, so I don't see her losing it. So I'm going to go with Timeless Toni Storm, and of course, the main event, Jon Moxley defending the AEW Championship against Swerve Strickland. Again, how will Adam Page fit into this? How will the rest of the Death Riders fit into this? I'm surprised it's not like a no DQ match or something. I wonder if it ends up getting changed, because they literally slammed Swerve Strickland on the glass at the end of Dynamite, and you're just going to have a regular match after that? I don't know. But I don't see Moxley losing the title because of Hangman Page. But I feel like Hangman Page's Swerve is not done. So I think Moxley's going to win somehow. Shenanigans probably. And yeah, so there we go. So overall, good box. We got a autograph. We got a relic. So pretty solid box overall. I mean, we literally got the advertised autograph on the box, which is just really weird. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before, where you get the autographed, you get the card on the box that is like the big hype card, saying like, oh, buy this product, you have a chance to get this card, and you actually pull that card. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. So there you go. Thank you everyone for watching. I know this is kind of a long video, and it's getting close. This is actually one of the first times I've actually recorded one of these the same day that the actual thing is. So it's coming up pretty soon. I think the pre-show starts at 6:30. Actual show's at 8. The 0 hour, that's an hour and a half, which makes sense, is at 6:30. And then, so there you go. So thank you everyone for watching. Come back a couple weeks. We got WrestleMania coming up. I'm going to have plenty of videos wrestling related that weekend, because we also got NXT, Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, SmackDown, Raw. There's going to be a lot of content, wrestling content. So if you enjoy it, come back in a couple weeks. Come back every day. Videos posted every day, sometimes multiple days. Just hit that subscribe button, turn the notification. You get a notification every time videos up. Ready to watch, come over, watch it, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. Keyword this fun, just having fun on the channel. Previewing some AEW. I missed last month's pay-per-view, so I had to double it up. Well, not really double it up, but we got double the time and double the hits. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm saying, but Double or Nothing's coming up next month, so we'll be back for that. So thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe, have fun. Talk to you next time. Bye.